Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be seeing about sand molding. So what are the types of sands used during the molding? Like directly a sand cannot be used. So what are the additives, additional things added with the molding? So everything we'll be seeing in this video. So first, before going that, so what is a mold? Mold is a cavity that is created using a metal or a refractory sand. So the shape of the cavity is based on the shape of the component that we are going to produce. So with the pattern we are producing the cavity. So a mold is referred to as a negative replica of the casting. So pattern is called as the positive replica of the casting, and mold is a negative replica of the casting. Mold is made up of metal, is called as metallic mold, and if it is made up of sand, it is called as sand mold. So this metal molds used for a permanent usage when we want to produce the same component of different the same component more times. So this metal molding can be used. Whereas if we want to use only for a temporary purpose, we can use of this sand molding. So the first thing, the most essential thing for molding is a base sand. It is a mass of refractory grains. Grains are formed due to the withering action of rocks. It is available in plenty of nature, sea, beaches, deserts, etc. And a base sand refers to sand grains without any ingredient. They are normally oxides of elements. So there are different types of sands available, which is a silica sand, olivine sand, chromite sand, and zircon sand. So we shall see in detail about the types of sands. So first one is a silica sand. This is a commonly used sand, that is a silicon dioxide, SiO2, which is found in nature in bottoms and bank of a river and lakes. Silica deposits tend to have varying degree of organic and mineral containments like limestone, magnesia, soda, and potash. So this is easily available, and this is one of the commonly used type of base sand. And the next one is olivine sand. Olivine sand is typically of a non-ferrous foundries. So this is mostly used in non-ferrous foundries. With its thermal expansion about half of the silica, it is suitable for production of steel casting also, but the cost is high compared to that of the silica sand. Next is chromite sand. This is an African sand with the cost being much higher than compared to that of silica and olivine. And zircon. So this zircon or zirconium sand, it possesses most stable thermal properties of all the above discussed sands. This when the high temperature is required, this type of sand is used, but anyhow it is hazardous in the nature. So these are about the types of base sands. Now let us see about what are the requirements of a base sand. It should be, the grain size should be of subangular. It should have a good grain distribution. It should have high refractoriness, low impurities, low expansion characteristics, and it should be thermally stable. So these are some of the requirements of a base sand. So the next one is binder. So when for a sand to be used for a molding or casting, it is incomplete only if we are taking the sand alone. So there should be some binder and additives. So here you can see here a molding sand. It is a combination of the sand plus binder plus additives. So what is a binder? So the sand used for preparing the mold is mixture of silica sands, binder, and additives. So there are different types of binders used. They are classified into two types. One is organic binder, the other one is inorganic binder. So what are the organic binders include? So the organic binders include dextrin, which is made from starch, molasses, a byproduct of sugar industry, cereal binders, gelatinized starch and gelatinized flour, linseed oil, a vegetable oil, resins, urea formaldehyde, phenyl formaldehyde, etc. So these are comes under the organic group of binders. Whereas in inorganic group of binders, it includes clay binders, bentonite, fire clay, etc., Portland cement, and sodium silicate. So these are some of the types of binders used. And the next one is additives. So along with the sand and binder, additives is also used to make the molding sand very effective. So the additives are generally added to develop certain new properties to enhance the strength of the sand. They do not form any compulsory constituent to the molding sand. However, its addition, it improves the quality of the molding sand and hence the casting obtained. So a few commonly used additives are sea coal. It is finely powdered bituminous coal. Its addition ranges about 2 to 8% by weight of sand and enhances peeling property of castings. It improves surface finish of castings and prevent burnout. And the next additive which is used is silica floor. It is a pulverized silica added in ranges of 5 to 10% based on sand weight. It resists metal penetration into mold walls. It improves the surface finish. So wood floor, cellulose material. It is a pulverized soft wood added in ranges of 1 to 2% by weight of sand. It controls the sand expansion created by temper water. It absorbs excess water and improves flowability of sand during molding process. It improves collapsibility of molds and cores. And the next additive that can be used is iron oxide. It develops hot strength to molding sand, aid in the thermal transfer of heat from mold metal surface, and of stability to provide more dimensional properties. So this is about some of the additives that can be used. So these are so if we need a better combination of casting sand, we need to choose the correct sand along with the binders and along with the additives. When all these three are put together, they create a better sand for casting. Thank you.